Insurance isn't one size fits all. That's why drivers have trusted Progressive's Name Your Price tool for years. Just tell Progressive what you want to pay, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Visit Progressive.com to find a car insurance rate that works for you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Let's talk about Angie. Angie! Oh, Angie! Angie's been connecting homeowners with skilled pros for over 30 years. And they've made it easier than ever to tackle home projects. Their nationwide network has experts in everything from plumbing and landscaping to roofing, remodels, and more. You can read verified reviews and request and compare notes to find your best price. So join the millions of homeowners who use Angie to get the job done well. Download the Angie app today or visit ANGI.com. Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the Last Podcast on the Left Patreon. God, it's good to see you. I mean, I can't see you. I can't really see anything. I have a blindfold on. I'm in an undisclosed location. This is Henry Zabrowski. But you know who's not is my esteemed guest. Someone that is out here. I mean, because he can't be in hiding because he is on a promotional tour. And he has to be out there. He's in I'm certain he'd rather be asleep. But he's excited about the movie. No, I see the eagerness in his face. He's excited about the film. Yes. We're going to get into the meat of it. This is William Brent Bell, the director of some of our favorite movies on Side Stories of the Last Podcast. We've talked about The Boy several times. Where also has come up quite a bit, which it's a great movie. But most importantly, your newest film, Orphan 2, First Kill, which I'm very excited for. I'm excited for the world to see. Thank you so much for being here, William Brent Bell.
Thank you so much for having me, and obviously you can call me Brent. And
I will. It's for Googles.
Absolutely. And no, it's great to be here. You know, I don't really want to be asleep, but no, like being out in front of things in a publicity ways, not necessarily, where I usually am. I'm always behind the camera. So watching the girls, watching Julie and Isabel doing press this week, I'm just like, they make me look so bad.
Well, that's their job. And you have to remember who made you Orphan? Yeah. You always say that to the actors.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's been fun. It's already been fun.
Can I ask you, right? So number one, we'll get into the film. I'm excited about this because it's a prequel. Because at first I was just like, how are we doing the sequel to Orphan? Because spoilers, let's just say Orphan doesn't fare very well at the end of the first movie.
Her neck takes a turn for the worse.
Yeah. She gets what she deserves.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But my question is, man, what do you have against children?
I guess I just think that they're kind of up to no good. Kids remain a lot of kids remain really quiet,
Yes.
Kids are wild, but those ones are too obvious. It's the quiet ones who I know hear everything. And, I knew when I was a kid, we our strongest memories of things like movies are well before 10. And yet adults look at a kid 6 to 10 and, they don't realize how smart kids are. And I still remember how conniving we were as kids.
I was a kid. I was very much so into everything that was spooky and dark, but it also used to terrify me. So essentially, I would torture my parents because all I'd want to see was whatever's the creepiest thing. And they were like, and I'd read it too. Cause I started reading Stephen King when I was like 10 years old. Yeah. And it was probably it's far too young.
Yeah.
But I'm reading it and my mom did the thing. Well, at least he's reading, but she doesn't know that I'm up all night, like terrified by my own imagination.
Yeah. I've been thinking about this a lot lately. And I was terrified too, and I saw movies way too young. And it's what my parents did when, as a product of divorce, they sat me in front of the television, and I ended up watching scary stuff. My sister made sure I did. She was like 4.5 years older, that perfect age where she hated me,
Yes.
but also kind of was torturing me by having me watch Halloween and stuff as a kid.
Yeah.
But it's great, and so while I have stronger memories about horror films before the age of 10 than I do about like my regular life.
Me too, man. The House. I was obsessed with the movie House.
Oh yeah,
as a little boy, and now I rewatch as an adult, and I was like, it's a very weird toned film.
I mean, there's a lot that we were allowed to watch that had very weird tones, and books that were written back then, like you said, Stephen King. But I mean, bestsellers back in the late 60s and early 70s, when it was such a heyday for horror. Also, people were buying Jaws or The Other, or these amazing books that turned into horror films. It's not like that really necessarily anymore, except for kind of the more straightforward horror like Stephen King or Peter Straub.
Is that how you found yourself into, because you've directed a lot of horror? Like, do you feel that you are like, because then I feel like some guys get a little bit like, well, I'm a director, I'm not a horror director, but do you feel that you're like a horror guy?
And well, yeah, I'm from Lexington, Kentucky. I'm always going to be from Lexington. I'm a horror guy. Like, it's just part of my DNA.
Some people, because some guys get umbrage, because I've had this talk with directors about this, and sometimes you're like, well, I'm a director. And you're like, no, I know, but you've done only horror films. And they're all like, but you wait until I do my final, Rob Zombie. I love him. He wanted to do the hockey comedy. You know what I mean? That he can't seem to get going.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's in between movies, sometimes more than others. It's like, it'll always be like, well, what's next? And then there'll be like some science, never rom-coms or straight dramas, but there'll be, science fiction ideas, or things that are in the realm but not straight horror, and then I just find myself gravitating right back towards horror. And because to me, of course, it's such a wide spectrum of story styles that a lot of people who aren't as familiar with horror, they have a preconceived notion in their mind of what they think it is, and it can be any number of things. Usually it's either ghost stories or slashers, and that's about all they kind of connect it to. But it's so much more.
Oh, yeah. So, the genre, especially in the last couple of years, has really shown just how beautiful and varied horror genre is horror genre, because you can, like, it can be drama at its highest order. I just recently rewatched The Witch too, and then you like watch something like that, and you're like, and that's a historical drama, because we're on last podcast, we're doing the Salem witch trials, and you see just how much work he put into that movie to make it like a real piece of history, like
listening to them talk in that old English style. At first, it's like, what is this? Like, I don't get. And then you're just, okay, I'm immersed in a world where people all talk this way, and you have to perk up and pay attention and to enjoy that movie. And I know I've seen stuff where he's kind of ashamed of that movie or something.
Whatever. He's crazy. Well, he said the same thing about The Northman too. He also was trying to walk back The Northman because he was like, oh, it's an action movie. And I was like, yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's so wonderful.
But saying that he had trouble, like, oh, I didn't know how to tell a story when I did The Witch. I was like, you just need to calm down, look at it again, because you've told a brilliant story on every level.
Beautiful story.
Beautiful story. Yeah.
Do you do the same as a director? Is that the thing? Like, do you watch your own work? Like, when you go, like, do you watch it afterwards? Do you like it still? Or you're like, I never want to see Boy 2 again?
Oh, that's good. That's a specific one.
I love Brahms too. Don't worry, you're about to get a series of boy questions. I'm about to come at you with that first.
Every movie, Ron Howard, I saw something where he said, being a director, every movie is going to break your heart at some point. Yeah. And it's really true, but it's also kind of like, I guess I don't have kids, not that I won't, but movies are kind of like your kids. Like, you can't really choose necessarily. And I always know what the intentions were, or I know the behind the scenes or the politics. So I look at a movie that I've done sometimes with rose-colored glasses, because I might not see it just the way a normal public viewing audience would see it. I've got all the other scenes on my Avid, or I've got
You see all the movies it could have been. You see all of the different movies.
And something like like Brahms in particular was one that I've never had a situation where at the last second the studio came in and completely changed the movie, sort of. And
really,
oh yeah, and but that wasn't the only kind of problem with that movie, but it was definitely the biggest problem because
I bet,
and it happens.
How does that process happen? Because I do want to just talk about Love of the Boy. I want to ask this, but in terms of that, because I've never made, I've made independent films. I've always been on the talent side of it versus the creating part of it, and the editing. So when you submit your film, so is that idea is when the studio comes and change everything, did you hand them all right, we're done, good guys, we did all of our work? Is it like that where you get a picture lock and you do all of your own sounds and post? Is all the post done too by the time you send it to the network, and then they just do whatever they want with it?
I mean, it's slightly different, depending on the movie and where it is. We made the film I just did in London, Lord of Misrule, with Ralph Ineson from The Witch. He's
on fire, dude. He's on fire. What a fantastic actor.
And wait till you see him in this movie, because it's the most complete character since The Witch. I mean, he's it's a full character in the movie. But anyway, that movie, I'm locking picture this next week or two, and finishing the sound mix and stuff like that. But we haven't sold it to a distributor. So when the distributor comes on board, they may crack the movie back open, and you never know. And it's usually
seriously, they can do that? The distributor does that?
Well, no, they do it with me. But
okay.
It's kind of it's with every movie. It's well, now let's spend some more money on this, or let's try this, or have you thought about this? And it usually is a good thing. And sometimes, I go through the whole process. It's not just my cut; it's every cut I oversee, and the sound mix, and every aspect. But in the case of that movie, Brahms in particular, the company that was producing the film went bankrupt after 30 years making tons of movies. Lakeshore, they made Underworld, they made $1 Million Baby, a million things, and they just, they were too big, and they went under. So all of a sudden, you had no producers, and then the studio just kind of cracked it open, and they're like, "We want to make some changes," because they thought,
"Oh my god!" And then you're basically your production company daddy is gone.
Exactly.
The person that was supposed to be cradling this through, the person whose project it was. Yeah. Yes.
And so then after I watched it, I was like, have you guys seen what they did? No, actually, we've not seen it. We don't have, they're not involved anymore. So it was just literally, you never know when a movie can get tweaked in this huge, long process. And that's why I'm so paranoid all the time, paying attention. It was the same way Devil Inside was that way. There was a tweak after a year of beating up that movie and testing it so many times. At the last second, the president of the studio made a change that went down in, kind of movie history as a, putting up that card at the end of The Devil Inside was a last second idea that the only thing we never tested in that movie. And he even, told me later that he made a mistake. He meant for that card to happen after the credits. But it was you didn't say that. And it was one of the last directives that the studio asked us to do. Anyway, and then it just changes. It can affect the whole.
Oh, the entire movie, because the ending is one of the most important parts of the movie, because it's what the audience is the last thing they see. Yeah. And so it's the last memory they have of what they thought.
It's difficult. I mean, I'm not complaining. It's just, it's tricky.
It's a lot.
And especially if you're trying to do movies that are going to be seen by a lot of people, then you've got a lot more money involved and a lot more politics, because people are very worried about that money and the marketing.
Oh, very much so.
So then, juggling.
And then you can have your whole $90 million movie thrown in the trash for no reason that you worked on for a year. And now it can just go away. It was already done. I mean, that's a shock. It's already, I've been texting with every person I know in the film industry that we're
there's no way that's going to stick. I mean, I feel like we've seen lately, especially, and I don't think this is what they're doing, but there is, where they'll send out kind of negative, like, oh, we're going to be low in cherries this year for the, food season. And then everybody goes out and wants to buy cherries. But it was like, they were never going to be low on cherries. So it's like all of a sudden we're talking about Batgirl. Like it's the must-see.
It does work.
Of the year.
No, it does work. Everyone, it's true. Because then everyone's like, now I gotta see this movie.
Absolutely.
And then you're like, and then we're all gonna sit there for the 95 minutes of essentially a CW show and just be like, well, I'm glad. How I feel is I'm just glad that everybody gets paid and everybody's work gets seen. To me, it's like I just know that the most talented artisans in the world get paid all of this money just to have their work shelved. I really do feel for the people making the costumes and all of that shit, Like
I said, I really believe, knock on wood, in the system or whatever, that movie can't be gone, and they're going to see all this groundswell. And I don't understand why it is now, like why you don't release it on HBO Max. But
it makes no sense. I don't know. It seems like it's already done.
It's, it's fascinating.
Live from your grave.
A roast as dark as the night, perfect for fueling the cryptid research and mad ravings required for your podcasting. Don't mind the red eyes, he's just trying to warn you of the bridge.
The bridge.
Finally, from the caffeine-addled brains of Spring Hill Jack Coffee and Last Podcast on the Left, we bring you Mothman's Red Eye Blend. Yes, delicious Panama beans. Go to lastpodcastmerch.com to order yours today.
This podcast is brought to you by Squarespace. Squarespace is an all-in-one website platform that helps you stand out online. Yes, that's right. You don't have to smash your face with a hammer. You can just start a business. It's got everything you need on Squarespace, from securing your domain to building a professional site and showcasing your work all in one place. Let's say you want to show everybody how you can carve your ribs out of your lower abdomen so that you look more like a Ken doll. That's amazing. You can bring your vision to life with AI-powered design or curated templates, plus flexible editing tools that helps you create something that truly reflects your style, especially if you are somebody that is trying to corrupt the young men of America. That's what Squarespace is really going to help you. Squarespace makes it easy. It makes it easy for you to put all that together, and you just go to Squarespace and do it all. Thanks, Braden. Head to squarespace.com/left for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use offer code LEFT to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain.
Hey there, everybody. Is your cell phone bill too much money? Are you getting that bill and you're like, hey, what is this? I can't believe for what? For 5G? Are you crazy right now? $100? I don't even barely got any bars when I'm just sitting in my living room, okay? You don't have to deal with that anymore. Are you ready for this? $15 a month. That's right, $15 a month on Mint Mobile. Yeah, baby. Get their wireless plan, because they're just sitting there on the T-Mobile 5G network, and it's just $15. Your whole life, you're just paying all this money every month. You're like, why? Where's it going? It's going to these phone companies that are robbing you. So go to Mint Mobile. Let them help you talk to your mom. So get your new wireless plan for just $15 a month. Go to mintmobile.com/LPOTL. That's mintmobile.com/LPOTL. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/LPOTL. That's it. There's no catch. Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, $180 for 12 months. Plan required, $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when the network is busy. Includes up to 20 gigabytes hotspot. Capable device required. Availability, speed, and coverage varies. See mintmobile.com.
It's obvious we love true crime, but it does make us feel a little paranoid about what's out there, as it should. And that's why it's so important to get a home security system that gives you peace of mind. With Simply Safe, You can stop crimes before they even start using their AI-powered cameras to identify threats on your property and alert US-based live agents to take action. Like arriving in a helicopter in the night, coming down from the helicopter, zipping down and breaking through the windows with their big axes, and going through the house, ripping through the walls, finding the criminals. It's easy to do. Simply Safe has been a game changer for us. And the best part, there's no long-term contract. We've used it since the very early days of Simply Safe here at LPN, and it keeps us safe, doesn't it? It keeps all of our thoughts inside the building. Then there's the ones we let out because they have to go out because that's a part of it. But Simply Safe keeps the other thoughts safe. And for that, we say thank you, Simply Safe. And we want you to experience the same peace of mind as we, which is why we've partnered with Simply Safe to offer an exclusive discount to all of our listeners. Right now, you can get 50% off your new system by visiting simplysafe.com/LPOTL. That's half off at simplysafe.com/LPOTL. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
So I wanted to ask, so we actually, it was kind of funny that because when we were talking about, like, because you were out here promoting the film, but we actually just had this conversation on our show about the difference between literally Orphan and The Boy, about how that it's kind of like it was a jokey conversation, but the breakdown of like, no, one's an evil child turned adult movie. One is a object treated as child movie, and that you can't know the ending of The Boy because you don't want to do. But my question is, what do you see as like the difference between these things? Like idea of like in the subgenres of horror, how do you break them apart?
You know, what's interesting is I would probably say that, the comparison's more Brahms, the guy in the walls, to Esther,
Well, that was what in the show we didn't want to spoil the ending of The Boy who hadn't seen it. Like we were like, but now this is Patreon, so you're gonna have to know that like The Boy's not The Boy.
Yeah. And so the sociopath or the psychopath, the human, it's really just about what sliver of their life story we see. So in The Boy, yes, we see the story we see, which is mostly about these parents, their coping mechanism, right? And then we reveal like it wasn't just a coping mechanism. There was more to it. Same thing with, Orphan. It's like she's a little girl, but she's not. She's actually this adult sociopath. We've just never delved as much into Brahms's story as we've seen her do now 2 full movies and seen a couple sides to her. So there's a lot of similarities to me, certainly on like the things that get me excited about horror.
Well, I like anything the innocent on its head is one of the, it's a part of horror forever. But like when you went to go to design The Boy,
yeah,
like
the doll.
Yes, the doll, The Boy. Like how many options did you go through, and how did you choose what the optics were? Because it was another kind of conversation we've had ongoing on last podcast about like Annabelle, right? How I actually prefer sort of like the actual Annabelle, which was a Raggedy Ann doll, and it's super plain. And then the movie one, they make it a little bit more elaborate, where I think The Boy is a really good down the middle. Like it's just a good old fashioned creepy porcelain boy.
Well, and that to me is scarier than if that boy was making an evil face and had, forget the fact that obviously Annabelle was in the zeitgeist around then as well. So whenever the studio wanted me to make him look scarier,
is that a note that they give you, like when you show up?
Yeah, like make him scary. Shouldn't he? But I'm like, no, it's like Damien from The Omen, or the 2 twin brothers from the other, or these characters are cherubic, like sweet kids, but they're holding like a knife behind their back. And if you get close enough, they'll slit your throat. And so I tried really hard to make him look as those dolls did in that time, kind of beautiful and innocent. And, but we used real fake eyeballs, like eyeballs, it was, the amount of the changes and the variations in developing him. It was super intense, and it was
I bet.
I think it was the when we did the camera test 3 days before shooting, his hair was terrible. It looked like he looked like a male figure skater. He had this like long, his hair was like, had these wings, and that wasn't like what the design was, but it's what the wig looked like. And so the night before we're in there, like, I'm having them cut his hair a certain way, going, oh, this is a nightmare. Like if he shows up like that, it changes everything. But then, and it turned out good. Like we on the shooting day, it was like, that's terrible.
Do you treat the boy like he's a little cast member? Like, is it like, do you have to like set the tone? Like when you're doing something scary like that, like how do you make everybody kind of feel the weight of it? Or do people like goof around? Because I feel like there's kind of different ways people run horror sets where like it's on one side of it's super extreme. It tends to be like a lighter set.
Yeah. I mean, he was kind of treated like a cast member for sure. I mean, and here's what's funny about him on set. He has different looks based on what's happening in the story, especially in the second when he was in the dirt. But he's over there and we put him in a chair, and I've got great behind the scenes photos of him. But not only is he just sitting there waiting to go on camera, and of course you get used to it and you feel like he is a cast member. But like based on like how his hair was, we needed it to like be style a certain way. So he would have little clips in his hair, like so that his hair would, curve a certain way when we let the clips down. So it would be like he would be waiting with rollers, in between takes. So it wasn't heavy or anything, but it wasn't like goofy. It was like, and it's very careful with him, because he's somewhat fragile depending on which version of him he is. But yeah, he's and he just sitting there, getting lit for a scene. The other actors are across from him, and it's really no different. It's kind of like a stand-in, except there is no person to fill the space. It's just him.
Because you as an actor, you're supposed to, technically, you've been given the directive of like, well, like I love the interplay of that's what's so good about the boy is he real? Like that feeling of like, like you could watch them kind of play that process of as he became real.
Yeah.
Which is pretty great.
Yeah.
Really. How did Brahms, the second one, prepare you to do this new movie? So Orphan First Killed. So this is like, so you've done a sequel or like, how does this prep you? Like, I mean, obviously they are different structures, but like, is there something about like, because you didn't make the first Orphan, how do you like continue that story?
Well, one thing that's great is the first movie holds up so well, and I mean, there's a quality to it that's dated that we kind of wanted to partly lean into, both in the look and sound of it. But, and it had such an exceptional level of casting, for a horror film, for a movie then. So you're like, okay, we have to some degree the answers to the test, especially when Isabel was officially on board. And we knew, and I knew like, other than the technical aspects of making her believable or, in the story, we have, the actress who knows better than anybody, how to bring to life his character. But as far as the look and feel, it's like part of it is like, when in doubt, look at the original film,
Yeah.
It was that with casting, like bringing on Julia to me was a really like, it's the same kind of level as Vera Farmiga, and it's like when it was just normal creative conversations and people are like, oh, what about this casting choice? And it's like, that doesn't really live up to what the original film was. So always going back and pointing to the original movie because it was so good and being able to lean on it on every level to make sure that we were doing things more in a unique way from the original film, but at the same time, it still needs to be that DNA. So, and the boy movies definitely prepared me for that for many reasons, because it's similar. There's a lot of similarities, in the look and style.
I feel like in the tone, there is similarity in tone, which is like, I feel like it actually does allow you to move pretty much directly from the boy to Orphan.
Yeah.
Rise from your grave.
Hey, what's up, everyone? How you doing? Ben Kissel here with Henry Zabrowski. Yeah, it's me, man. Yeah, bro. Henry Zabrowski is smoking some of that sweet Last Podcast on the Left, babe. So go out there and purchase yourself some. I hope you enjoy it. We have sativa, we have indica, and we have a hybrid. And I have to tell you, from my personal experience, they are wonderful.
Super tasty live resin. You really get the delicious weedy taste, which is what I like. And
Yes.
3 different experiences. You go to your local vape store and get it.
Absolutely. Thank y'all so much for supporting the show. We absolutely love you. Can't wait to see you on the road and get that vape, put it in your brain, and have a good time.
And if you want us at your favorite weed store, give them a call and ask for them by name. Last
Absolutely.
Podcast on the Left. It's weed.
Hail yourselves, everyone.
Hail Satan.
This is a paid ad by BetterHelp. You know, stigma shows up in a lot of different places. I know I had to explain to my handyman about the devil imagery in my home. I had to explain that in our home, El Diablo es bueno. And he reluctantly agreed. I think largely just because he was in my home and he was scared. But over time, he began to see, the devil can be my amigo. See, even in 2026, stigma can get in the way of a lot of things, right? My handyman almost didn't put up my floating media cabinet, right? You got to get support for your mental health. Maybe you've encouraged friends to consider therapy while avoiding taking the first step yourself because you're busy, worried what others will think, or telling yourself you should handle it alone. No, you need a team. Get therapy with BetterHelp, the world's largest online therapy platform. Give me a space to slow down and talk through what's building before it feels unmanageable. So let's take a short questionnaire to identify your needs and preferences, and BetterHelp will handle the initial therapist matching work for you. Their industry-leading match rate means BetterHelp typically gets it right the first time. Feel confident knowing BetterHelp therapists work according to a strict code of ethics and are fully qualified. So don't let hesitation hold you back. Find support with BetterHelp. Sign up and get 10% off at betterhelp.com/lastpod. That's betterhelp.com/lastpod.
Nothing beats tradition, like weekly game nights at Mom's house. And Tostitos, crafted with masa made the traditional way, starting with whole corn kernels, with flavors worth gathering around, like a hint of lime and Mexican street corn. And no artificial colors, flavors, or preservatives. That's the Tostitos way. Bring Tostitos to your next game night, and you'll be winning either way. Tostitos, tradition matters.
Back to school season. You've got the new backpack, the folders, the 17 highlighter colors. But there's one essential that never makes the shopping list. Their pillow. And we all know better school days start with better sleep. So we've got big news. Coop Sleep Goods is running their back-to-school sale. Save 20% on the entire collection. Spend $150 or more and get a free gift. The sale starts July 28th and ends August 25th. From cooling pillows to mattress toppers that transform thin dorm room mattresses, the only thing left to blame for a bad night's sleep is their insomniac roommate. Coop's pillows are adjustable, built to fit how your kid sleeps, whether that's a twin XL dorm bed or their room at home. Spend $150 or more and get a free Ultra Tech pillow protector. Head to coopsleepgoods.com/comedy. COOP sleepgoods.com/comedy. 20% off plus a free pillow protector with $150 or more.
Well, do you feel like now that there has been, we talked about this a little bit before, and you said that people have brought this to your attention, the story of Natalia Grace.
Yeah.
That was this story that we covered on Side Stories quite a bit, but a real tiny person pretending to be a child.
Yeah. Like I said, Inventing Anna, right now it's so popular to watch movies and series in particular about these charlatans, whether they're creating WeWork or, something like the Inventor. And then
I think the love of the con man is a slightly American aspirational idea, because I think it kind of brings up the idea of like, it's the very core of the make money from nothing.
Yeah. I mean,
American ideal. Yeah.
Fake it till you make it. And then what always fascinates me about those stories and the story like Natalia Grace and a story like Esther or Lena is like these sociopaths, on different levels, and they all are, like, what are you thinking? Like, what do you think is the end game here? Because you can't sustain this. Eventually, you're not like Natalia Grace. You're not going to grow up. And then they're going to be like, what's going on?
What's your deal? Yeah.
like-
Like when you cut her hanging out playing dominoes and smoking shit, like she's like that character from The Simpsons. Which I love.
And it's, so to me, I'm just like, I get it as a means to an end, maybe, like with Esther, getting to America. It's a great way to get to America and to slip through whatever people were looking for this, an adult. And so she slips through the cracks as a child. But how long, do you think that can last? And how many times are you going to continue to do that same thing? And I feel like with the characters like this, their lives are probably very painful as normal adults. And so they slip into these lies. But like I said, those lies aren't sustainable. So when are you going to learn from the lesson?
A lot of times when you see these guys, especially pathological liars, people that have we see it's like some version of an antisocial personality disorder, like whatever is under that umbrella. A lot of times it's the only way that they feel anything. Like they legitimately have a block. They feel nothing. Like there's nothing registers. And the only thing that does register is upping the stakes of your current life. Like you do things where you try to fuck with the system because it gives you a reaction finally.
Yeah. And, it's kind of the reverse of something like, is it Munchausen's syndrome? Is that where you poison your own child? Is that?
Well, they've got the two different. Yes, it is. Munchausen by proxy. I believe that it's like the idea that you have it's the mom keeping the kid sick. Kid kind of leaning into it's this sort of inner world of I put it just mental illness.
Oh yeah. And so someone like Talia Grace, it's like as an adult, is she ridiculed in some way that is just really hurt? But as a child, she gets to be the smartest kid in the room, and
she gets to crush
feels
it.
Great. She's she's brilliant. And it's the same way with Esther, she's, and we talked about like Esther's past. I mean, she's 31 in this movie, 33 in the other. So she's got 20 years back until the age she's supposed to be, But did she go to college? Did she try to go to college? And did she, was she 28 and fell in love with her TA, her, teacher's assistant, but got laughed out of that or something. And, and then decided, okay, I'm going to go back to acting like I'm a kid again. Like, who knows how many times she tried to become a normal person and it just didn't work out. And being a kid is the way to do it.
And people positioned her already as a little kid. I think that there is a little bit of that too, where she looks like a child. Mm-hmm. And so people kind of treat you as such.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said,
she just deals with it.
Like a really brilliant child.
Yeah. So you get nothing but positive validation.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about this? Now, maybe this is out of the box, but have you thought about maybe doing a tie-in to the Orphan 2 First Kill, where you go to orphanages and try to find and suss out these fake children, and that you do it yourself? You and Isabella go from orphanage to orphanage, and you get 3 of them with the pair of parents, right? And you try to find out which is the secret adult.
It's like a dating show. Who is the fake child?
Who's the fake
orphan?
child?
Who is the fake orphan? That's something we haven't thought about. And it's like, it is one of those great, outside the box ideas in a publicity scenario.
I think that we should try it. No, I think I'm going to put money into this.
Well, what's interesting to me is because there's more than Natalia Grace. It's like,
oh yeah,
how many, especially adopted orphans from another country who are coming in as even at 12, but they're actually 18, how much of that is actually happening? And how many of those girls, bless their hearts, are hoping maybe I will sleep with the dad and get a green card and, those types of things.
That's rough. Oh yeah. I'll tell you what, man, I don't believe that. I actually think that it's up to 75% of orphans are fake.
Yeah. Well, especially.
Yeah. I'm that close. I think 75 to 90% of orphans are adults pretending to be children. And that's I wish we could stop it. I wish we could stop it.
And you mean they still could grow up, not necessarily they have a condition that will keep them a child forever.
Oh, no. That's why they have to wipe out the parents.
Yes.
They have to wipe out their own parents so they just get in there and then restructure and then become somebody else's orphan.
Yeah. I mean, it's not that far, from other scenarios that we know are very real,
I think so. Do you think that Between the Boy and Orphan is the reason why you don't have children?
I think
because you just can't trust them.
Yeah, that's part of it in a way.
Yeah. You know what it did for me and my wife was we need to talk about Kevin.
Yeah. Yeah.
That stopped it because we were like, we're good. We're relatively normal and you could still make a crazy one.
Oh yeah. And it's a cross between either them being crazy or, they could, I could have easily been very, depressed and just sad. I joke, like I tried to kill my stepmother once. Now this is not really, but like when I was like, she was like kind of a step monster to me. And so I put hairspray on her toothbrush when I was like 6 years old.
Unbelievable. You can't trust these kids. No, you cannot trust a child.
Yeah,
I think it's what we know for certain.
Well, I'm
very scared of them.
It's certainly what these stories are leaning into. That fear that you can't trust a child, or you can't even trust that a doll's not maybe real, or that it doesn't have a life when the lights go out. There's a lot of aspects of that.
It creeps me out, man, because I have one of these, like I have this like Chucky mask above, like right on the side of me, and it sits in a way that it's right above my chair. And so when if I have to go to the bathroom at night or whatever to come out, it freaks me out 2 or 3 times a week. Like I see it, I'm like,
yeah. Well, and that's part of the fun too, like with horror of creating scenarios that feel grounded in a fairly normal life, to where when you leave the movie, you're not off the hook, you still,
yeah.
Or when you finish watching the movie, you still in the middle of the night when you go to use the bathroom, see the Chucky mask and it scares you 3 times a week. That's amazing.
It's a goddamn orphan. Dude. So Orphan First Kill comes out August 19th.
Yes.
Very excited to see it. I can't wait. I know our people are going to love it because I'm going to say we're orphan heads. I mean,
it's a movie made very much, it's a kind of a love letter to her and to fans, of her. I mean, it wasn't just a movie made just to make a movie. It was a movie very much made with, and I'm a fan, to go, oh yeah, like you'll see.
I'll always spend more time with an orphan. I can't wait. Well, thank you so much, Brent. Thank you so much for talking to me today. And we'll put up a link and I'll let you know when it goes up.
Great, man. Thank you so much.
Rise from your grave.
Thank you again to all you Patreon listeners for every single thing that you've done, of all of the delicious ducats that you have given from your hot, wet little pockets to our big, wide, cold, dry pockets. And I want to say thank you. Thank you so much. Hail Satan. Go watch Orphan First Kill. I know I'm going to. I like this shit. And it's gonna be great. Get high as hell. Drink a bunch of beers. And hopefully that orphan does a little bit more mayhem, because God, I need it.
Nothing beats tradition, like weekly game nights at Mom's house. And Tostitos, crafted with masa made the traditional way, starting with whole corn kernels, with flavors worth gathering around, like a hint of lime and Mexican street corn. And no artificial colors, flavors, or preservatives. That's the Tostitos way. Bring Tostitos to your next game night, and you'll be winning either way. Tostitos. Tradition matters.
Back to school season. You've got the new backpack, the folders, the 17 highlighter colors, but there's one essential that never makes the shopping list. Their pillow. And we all know better school days start with better sleep, so we've got big news. Coop Sleep Goods is running their back-to-school sale. Save 20% on the entire collection. Spend $150 or more and get a free gift. The sale starts July 28th and ends August 25th. From cooling pillows to mattress toppers that transform thin dorm room mattresses. I mean, the only thing left to blame for a bad night's sleep is their insomniac roommate. Coop's pillows are adjustable, built to fit how your kid sleeps, whether that's a twin XL dorm bed or their room at home. Spend $150 or more and get a free Ultra Tech pillow protector. Head to coopsleepgoods.com/comedy. That's COOP sleepgoods.com/comedy. 20% off plus a free pillow protector with $150 or more.